Hello everyone. We can get started. Oh. Hold on just a second. Gotta adjust some settings real quick. Let's get that music going. I think 40 is fine. But we do have a bad tide approaching in 3 days. We have kind of, I don't know how you say it, we modified the spillways. Morning Sand Artist and Lucky. But we have the spillways set up over here, and then we have another one over here. And so they should keep us protected from the bad tides. They worked the last couple times. I don't know if they had been adjusted, but maybe they have. Or maybe they had, but today's a big day. We're going to be moving production on top of here. Hello, Phoenix. But yeah, we can actually get some of these buildings moved, which is fantastic. Clear up some space right near the river. Hopefully reduce some of the flooding issues that we've had. But before we actually move stuff, we need to think about the layout that we want. Because right now, I have the power shafts ending right here. I need to kind of plan out a little bit more. And we can remove some of the paths without removing. Nope, that's not what we want. There we go. And I'll put a bunch of this stuff back so that we can actually access everywhere. So I guess big picture, I want to move all the production buildings and then all the housing as well on top of here. And we might not have enough surface area for that, so we might need to go vertical. So I want to make something that looks good and also functions decently well. And then we'll have a bunch of zip lines around. But I haven't really planned it out. So kind of need to think about how I want to do that. Production. I think we need to keep that in the middle because that's where our power shafts are. But we could. I was thinking of having like an elevated area in the middle and then having like an archway, more decorative, that goes into there. I think that'd be kind of cool. So let's start playing around with it. I think we'll go to the next day. Have I thought about running some power under a subfloor on top? I mean, you could do that. It would be... We have all of these. And then if we go up... So we could go, you know, on either side if we wanted. It wouldn't take too much to make that adjustment. So yeah, we wouldn't necessarily need to be limited by where the power shafts are. But once it gets to full daytime and the lighting is decent, we'll start doing a little bit of planning. So I think that's good enough. But we'll just place down a few buildings as kind of like it'll just be placeholders. So we'll use some smelters. Because if we wanted, we could go... I think we'll have everything forward. We could pretend we just have like the whole back row is some of the deeper buildings. We can go with some of these. And then I think those would be a couple spaces away. Because then we could have like a path going along the front. And then connect in wrong side. But then we could have storages. And then the most important part, I think, would be I'd have maybe some doubles. And then we can get some more overhangs. So let's say we went with 6s. We do something like that. And then either way, no matter what I'm doing over there, I'm going to remove this guy. And I think I'll move these two down the road. But I kind of want to think about zipline stations also. But I was thinking we could do something cool, like maybe over here we have like kind of a mini archway. So let's say we're going like this. And then I guess you can't do it with levees as easily, but you could still do it. So it would be we'd use some of these overhangs. Would it need to be like that? Okay. Depending on how tall I want the archway. So let's try just 2 overhangs. Here, here. And then we could do levee. So we can remove this one. I'm just kind of winging this, honestly. Does that make sense? And then we need one more on top. We'll go so a little archway leading in, have some decorations. Ooh, I wonder what you're able to put under here. Decorations. I guess you could put that. I was thinking about the iron teeth that have the little fire thing. But we go a couple of those. Maybe some lights. Oh, they can't go there. Something like that. And then I think adjacent to it we could have some of the housing potentially. We're gonna need more scrap metal just to build the smelters. Ooh, we are really low. Was that in the last episode we were running short and we couldn't figure out why? We're prioritized, we have a bunch of metal blocks. We have another mine. Oh yeah. That was one thing that I was going to work on is this mine over here. We'll need to actually get up here. Let's see, logs, gears, and treated planks. Okay. 2 things that I need to do. I want to get this started. But then we also need to work on that. I'm going to stay paused for a little while. So before we click play, I need to kind of figure out the base of what we're doing. But yes, that is a good point. We'll need to get scrap metal. That'll probably be the first thing that we focus on actually constructing. But for housing, I was thinking we could do something like this. So we might actually even use just the regular lodges. And what we could do, let's see, we'll just go like 6 for now. So we go kind of a tiered look. And so it would be something like this. And then you could get some amenities on the top for them. That was kind of built in, and it's not just like pure housing. Because if you can have space that wears different hats, that is very helpful. And then maybe I'd move it out one more, because we'd have staircases on the sides. Or I guess we could go up like this. Boom, boom, boom. And then we could even have... Ooh, what if we did this? So we have it like that. We can remove... Oh, I don't know if we could do this actually. But I was thinking we could go something like this. No. I was going to put rooftop terraces on the sides, but I couldn't have it sideways. I could have it the other direction. But yeah, stepped housing. Could put stuff underneath if I use platforms. Oh yeah, we could have... Ooh, we could get some storages under here too. That'd be nice. I think we'd probably use some medium warehouses because we could fit a few more under here, especially if we had some stairs. Yeah, and then I think for decoration, because we'd have this whole thing would kind of be covered and you wouldn't be able to see it as well. But then we got to think about zip lines. And then part of why I would want to have some space in between these two is so that we could have some stairs that kind of peek up. And they give us access from above going down below. So that is part of it. And then I think that... Because then we also have the monuments. We have plenty of decorations. So I kind of like that. So let's see. I think big picture I should build out the production. Because I'm not going to be constructing any of this. But I think that's the main idea that I want to go with. Just got to make sure that I'm not removing any buildings that have actually been constructed. And then... Okay, so now it's like how many of each building do I need? What do we have over here? I guess I can check in the workplace. So we can go... Some of these other buildings like the bakeries. And what else? Bakeries. All the builders' huts and hauling posts. Those ones don't need to be close to the power shafts. But then in terms of the lumber mills, we have 14 lumber mills. Oh my gosh. Oh, these ones are new ones. Okay, so we have 10 that are working. 10 lumber mills, that's a lot. And then we have 7 gear workshops. How many smelters? I think we only have a couple. Oh, we have 4. Oh, yeah, because we added 2. And then we have 4 new ones, which they're not connected in, so there's no number. Couple wood workshops. Okay. One thing I did learn during the Timberborn 1.0 episode a few episodes ago, you got to think about what buildings you're putting below these overhangs, because not all of them can fit. Specifically the wood workshop. That thing is huge and it doesn't want to go underneath. So, but I think that the explosives factory fits. How many of those do I have? If we go down to E, we have 3. We're going to do some terraforming, and I want to overbuild this whole thing so that we have enough. So we can do 4. 4 and 4. We might need more smelters. And then what are some other ones? We're the folktales, so I don't even think... Do we even have a printing press? We don't even have a printing press. But we're going to need quite a few of those. I think 4 would be good. Okay. I split these up. I don't really like that. We're going to kind of change that. So we'll get 2 more explosives factories placed down. And then the 2 smelters, which we will need extra scrap metal for. And then let's see. We need a lot more lumber mills. We don't necessarily also have to have all of the buildings under here. So that is something to think about. And then I am actually going to do this. Shift this over 1. Ooh. Do I want this to be... I think that we could... Do we want to put a wall up? We don't like need to block it. This will be kind of like a see-through on the side. If I want, I could always... I'm going to leave it like this. I think that's fine. But I do want to have a little bit of a gap. So 4, 4. We'll remove this one. Put that here. But with the whole power shaft situation, I'm just going to make it easy on myself. And it's not going to be perfectly symmetrical, but this is how we're going to cross. And then I'm going to move that guy. And I'll press play soon. I just want to get this sorted out. So hopefully it's not too boring for you guys. On this side we want the triples. We'll just start with some of these. Need to find a way to transfer power across the middle. Yep, you, sand artist, you and I, we're on the same page. So yeah, this is the way I'm going to do it. It's not the prettiest, but it's going to be kind of covered up. So also I could move that over by 1. And then we'll need to, because if I want to access the back, okay, I'm just going to put it back where it was. We'll just go like this. I don't know if I need to actually go back there, but I might. Oopsies. So that'll get us, I gotta do one more. So that'll get us, this whole thing's connected. Can fill all these in. And then we'll go over here. We'll do it this way. Because where's the paper mill? We're going to need several paper mills. We'll go... That might not be the most efficient. I think at least I'll do 2 like that. Because they're 3 wide. I know you can turn them sideways. But part of why I want to do that is so that we can have this power shaft tie in over here in front. Not like that. And then I'll shift this one over just a little bit. So we'll go vertical power shaft and then just the normal ones. And then that whole thing is connected in. And then we will have a path that can go back here. And then we'll have another row of some of the triples. So we'll have a lot of gear workshops, a lot of lumber mills. And then we'll have some grist mills. And then there's... on top we'll have some wood workshops. Let's see, there's probably some other buildings that I'm thinking of, or that I'm not thinking of. We got all that. The dirt excavator, we might have that off the back. Might have a few of them off the back, just kind of digging holes. So we can do that. Storage, no. Water, we have a centrifuge that we'll need. Food. Like I said, the bakeries we're not going to put kind of in here. Wood, paper mill, printing press. Yeah, I think we have most of it. For these, I want to intersperse the wood workshops and the lumber mills because they feed off of each other. And then we'll have just a little bit. No, we're not going to do that. We're keeping the pattern going. But then we'll need more lumber mills and gear workshops. And then that's not enough for either of them, but that's just kind of a start. And then I think, yes, we have it as 6. We'll probably have a space behind here. Because we'll do like a 4x1 over. There's that space that we can kind of go up. And it doesn't all need to be sorted out perfectly. I'm just trying to get a good idea. And then in terms of where we want the zipline stations, it'd be cool if we could have them just like go down into here, but I don't know if that's practical. But I think this much I know that we want to do. So let's connect all that in. And then this will be nice because it'll be good space for us to go put some stairs in without interfering with any storages. And then we also need to think about charging stations because we have bots now. So maybe we make some space on this side for some of that. So that is a lot. All of this can be lowest priority. So let's just mark all of that. And then they're not going to even be able to reach this top stuff. But we can just go... Whoops. I think that one will hold off. But yeah, the 6x1s. And then once again, lowest, we'll need to update the paths so they can actually reach all this. And then start thinking about the placement. But I don't want to just sit here the entire episode and just plan it. So we can click play. And then let's get over here because we need to get that mine up and running. We have access to the stairs. I think this one will be the easiest. No, this one will probably be the easiest. But we're just going to make our way up. We'll add in a zip line. And then we can start getting some extra scrap metal. We have 102 bots. I feel like we have a bunch of them in the builder's huts, which are not necessary. Yeah, let's see how many. Oh my gosh. We have 8 unemployed beavers. Go to the workplaces and then builders huts. We have 15 of them. So we have 1, 2, 3 of them are bots in lowest. And then we have 1, 2, 3 additional ones that are lower. So we effectively have 6 times 4 bot jobs that we don't really need to exist. So we can switch 1, and then we still have some, which is fine. But we gotta get that zip line. And then we have dirt, yeah. 2,000. Okay, let's see. Catching up on what you guys said. This is the part you edit out of your videos. Yeah, I try and keep the video so it's not getting too slow. This part is definitely a little bit slow, but definitely it needs to happen if you want to have a successful construction process. So now they can reach all this. But we want to pause these. That'll be the fun part, just pausing all the buildings as they're building them. Okay, they have this. Ooh, you know what? I think we could make like a land bridge over here. They already have it. So let's see what we can keep constructing. Okay, so it's at its limit. We'd have to go lower. We can get almost all the way. And then, yeah, that, not quite. So we need to build under here first. But they're not going to be able to reach that. And the reason why I'm looking at this is because I want to start building this out. And knowing the beavers, they could trap themselves. So we'll kind of leave it as that. But I want to get that zip line constructed, and I want to build this out first. So for now, we'll just get like a temporary zip line set up. We can make this highest priority. I think we gotta do it like this though, because then the dirt also gets prioritized. Add a connection. Perfect. That'll make the construction go much faster. Instead of the paper mills, put them behind the other ones. Oh, wait, instead of next to the paper mills, put them behind the other ones. Instead of the paper mills. 6-day bad tide. This is going to open up pretty quickly. Hopefully. It just floodgates open. Ooh. Was it? Maybe I missed it. It seemed like it. I mean, it definitely was over there. That's not exactly what we want. So maybe we gotta add in just a few dirt blocks. And then also those contamination barriers. Hopefully it's enough. Maybe it was flooding over here, which it probably was now I'm thinking about it. So we can demolish all those, and then we'll add in some more dirt blocks. Of course, it went over there. So we'll go bada boom, bada bing. And then we can add in those. Maybe it'll help. I mean, it's not a big deal, but still. We do need to switch the recipe so that's all for explosives. And then we'll duplicate that and then pause all those buildings. This one will set to books. These two will set to punch cards. And all of these we will pause. And then Sand Artist, you were talking about the paper mills. So I know it doesn't look the same. You know, it doesn't look completely symmetrical. But I do want to have a little bit of extra space in here in case there's something that I'm not thinking of in terms of like the stairs getting up. So just going to leave it like this. A little bit of wiggle room. And then, yeah, still need to add in more paper mills and lumber mills and gear workshops. And then we'll get some more overhangs. I don't know where I want them to start over here exactly, but I know they will start somewhere. And then we gotta pause this guy. Just gotta keep pausing him as they construct everything. And nice. Ooh, we can switch that. So now we have bots there. 13 vacant jobs. But that's okay. We can actually even just pause some of these. Those are... one of them's bots. One's beavers. Since it's lowest, or second lowest, we'll pause that builder's hut. And it's normal. I think we want to pause the ones that are lower. I don't know where they all are though. But we have them. I gotta consolidate my builder's huts. 8. Okay, that's fine. Doing great on wood. How are treated planks? 1.2 thousand. We're doing great on pine resin. Yeah, so hopefully that'll help. Oh, but we need treated planks over here, which is part of why I was trying to expand this area. Okay, so they're not going to be able to get down here unless we have this path just go all the way around. And now they can build, let's pause this one, then they can build this one, and that'll be it. So I guess that won't be... Let's see. Go... We'll try this. They can construct these, and then we'll do a staircase down, maybe? We'll see. I might not even need this one, honestly, because we can go like that. Okay, I'm getting distracted. Let's put in that pile. Let's put in a couple piles. So we'll have all of those prioritized, and we'll make sure they're bringing in the treated planks. These ones will be sending away scrap metal. That should help the efficiency a little bit. We also want to do this. We need to get some biofuel for the bots. In fact, we can do this now, because they'll work on those. No, not putting that there. I do want to kind of make this a flat, little plateau on the top. But like I was saying, we'll get that storage. We'll get some biofuel. This will be prioritized. There we go. Do we even have... Do we have extract? Or not extract, catalyst? No. We don't have any. We don't have maple syrup either. We're doing great on wood. We have trees everywhere. Maybe that's something we think about. Maybe not this episode. Oops, gotta pause everything. But yeah, getting maple syrup would be helpful because then we have several other things. Instead of putting woodworking buildings by the paper mills, put them back to their counterpart. I'm still slightly confused. The woodworking buildings by the paper mills. Oh, wait, what? No. Woodworking, I assume you mean the lumber mills? Because these ones, this requires logs. These both require logs. These require paper. So these ones are pretty close. Yeah, I think it's like it could probably be optimized a little bit more, but I'm also trying to balance a clean look. So, and this all fits pretty darn well, and then it has that flexibility of this little bit of extra space. And then on the back side, I think we'll have, you know, some more paper mills, some more lumber mills, and then on the top, we'll get those wood workshops. And that will be using the planks, and then the pine resin will get imported in. So, looks like they have finished all those buildings. We're doing a little bit better on scrap metal now. Oh yeah, we added these in. Okay, so let's see. I started this. Oh, I probably need to connect it in. There, now they're going to be able to reach all of this. And we can get some power shafts set up. Not that we're doing bad on power. We're producing quite a bit. And you have a good amount of gravity battery storage. So we got some production. We'll keep adding in some more. But first, I think I need to think about how they reach that. Oh, it's from up here? And they got some long arms, so they can reach that. We can have them construct all that if we just put in a couple of stairs. And a bunch of paths. Go like this, and then we're going to use just a bucket of metal blocks. So they're using these zip lines. So I think that I want to do the side. Do I do it right here or give myself a little bit of space? I think we'll offset it. We'll have a couple arches, and they can be small. Should it be here? I feel like we should put it like this, because it looks like if it's too close to the back side. Oops, I don't need that. It was kind of shifted over there. Didn't look great. But we can go with those. Okay, we're gonna do pause for just a few minutes so we can make sure this all looks good. And then just have some warehouse. And then I think it was a 4x1, 5x1. Oh yeah, because I offset it more. That needs to be up one. And so at this point we're at the top. Maybe do something a little bit different. Put some dams up here. I like how they make the dams the same as the levees for the bottom half, and then the top is different. I think it's a clean look. But then we gotta think about where do we want the levees to end. So I think we gotta focus on this now. And what was it? So we're still... Okay, so we gotta get those overhangs in. Okay guys, let's see. So we need to get the overhangs and like the platforms. So I think they have to be behind here. We need a few more lumber mills, gear workshops, and paper mills. On top we're gonna have, oh, a big one is all the bot parts and the bot part factories. And then we have the refineries, which don't need to be next to it, but we probably want to. But we have a lot of space on the second story. So I think we'll have the centrifuge, the refineries, the bot part factories, the wood workshops. I think all those can be on the second story, and we can keep focusing on getting these smaller, both vertically and their footprint buildings. We'll get those placed down here. So let's get some more of these. And then the charging stations, we'll need some down here. Not charging stations. These are the folktales. It's just the biofuel and extract they need. Okay, that makes it a little bit easier. But we want to have it 1 or 2 apart. 1 versus 2. We can go with the double. And then for this one, we're just doing the 4s. Because we'll have a little gap that we can get some stairs going up. And then, worst case scenario, let's say we don't have stairs the whole way, we can just put some platforms in there. And then what about for these ones? So I think we still want to have the overhangs on top. Depends on what we're doing at the front. Because we can have the path. Let's just roll with, we're having it, actually no, we're gonna roll with it this way. We're pretending that it's gonna be up 2 because we'll have the overhangs facing this direction, so we'll have 2 sets of these. And then for these ones, let's just start with a 4x1. We can adjust if needed, but we'll assume that it's just going to the front. I might make it bigger. But then what would we put at the front here? Because I think we'll want to have the path like this. And then we can have them connecting in, every other. And then we'll have like some piles and warehouses that can get the resources to the beavers and the bots. But then we're going to close it off. Do we want to put these? If we do these along the front, ooh, we could do, because on the side here we're going to have the housing. We'll have a bunch of storages. Could we do that? Try to not get too distracted. Focus, focus, focus. Yes, let's go like this. And then we have the dams in the front. But instead of going step housing like this, we could do this one a little bit different. We have a bunch of monuments that we want to use. Help get their well-being up. But for this, we could go... I don't know how many houses we're going to need. Let's pretend we're doing something like this. And then we could just go a double. So this one would be a little bit steeper, but still step housing. And then maybe instead of like this, you know, we could go zip line right here. Whoops. You know, and that could help get the beavers around. And then in the front, I don't think I want to have that path right up there. I don't think that looks great, because that would be kind of sketchy. So we'll remove this one. But if we have the doubles and they need to be up anyways, we can go... I like dams as like, kind of like the walls. We can do that, and then... Ooh, we have fencing. We only have wood fence. But we could go fence all along the front. At this point, should we just lower this so we have just some of the single lodges? No, because then we wouldn't need the dams. I think we can do this. It's going to be some extra constructing, but it does feel a little close, but because if that was back one, I think that would look a little bit better. Yeah, so where do we have some space to shift everything back one? We have two of these. Could I remove it from here and then have it in the front instead? And then I could shift it back one, because I don't... Am I going to use the stairs to go up and down right here? I could have a central staircase, and the beavers would go up and down, and then they go across. I think we might do that instead. So, we're going to have to remove pretty much all of this. I want to go one at a time so I'm not removing any buildings that were already constructed. So this is where the path is going to be. Can remove this part of the path, and then all of this. And then we get those levees in the front. Oh yeah, and this one I wanted to have a bigger archway. So, because I like what this one looks like over here. Decorations will have, I think, the shrubs, and then what I have, this with the lantern. Yeah, we'll leave it like that. I think that looks good. We can do something kind of similar over here. This one is too wide, but the path is only one. Yeah, we'll just, okay, we'll make it a 5. This one, a little bit wider of an arch. Can't be as tall, or it can't be taller, but what we'll do, so I'll need the 3x1 overhangs. And then we can go those. How is this gonna look? No, I'm not gonna do it like that. Okay, I'm gonna unpause very shortly. I just want to get this last part figured out. Thank you guys for sticking with me. Oh, looks like a lot of you did not stick with me. That's fine. Okay, we have those, and then 3x1s. No, we need it to be 4x1s. Oh, it needs to be taller. We're getting there. So we have this and 4x1s. Oh, and this one it was just dams on the top. So a little bit wider. How does that look? I think instead of this, get rid of this one. So the whole thing's just a little bit wider. Yeah, I like that more. And then let's get rid of this path real quick. And then the decorations, I want to get some of those beaver statues. Wait, do we not have beaver statues in here? Yes, we do. Can we go up one? Or are they going to be hitting their heads? They look like they're hitting their heads if they're up here. So we'll just have the beaver statues down here, I guess, and then I kind of like the lantern look. We'll see how it looks at night. And then we'll have a couple bushes right here. Man, I wish you could do like half a tile, because I think this should be raised up just a little bit. But I think the head disappears if it goes up anymore. So I think that is fine. So now we have a lot of things. I think the only thing I am not sure about is this. So we can leave everything else because they can start constructing that. Even the front, that's fine. We'll need to connect everything in because right now they can't reach any of this. We'll have that path go up there. But once again, all this, lowest priority. If they need something to work on, go for it, but otherwise, let's focus on other things. Cool. Okay, so they'll work on that. They are almost done getting that one set up. And the power shafts, we just got to extend that path. Okay. And then how's our scrap metal? We're going up 171. And then let's see, we gotta build this. Remove that. Can we go like this instead? Can we get away with it? We can't. Or we can go like this. And then maybe we can. Maybe we need to go under. feel like we should be able to. If we go one more. I feel like that should be possible. If it's not, then we gotta figure this out. We'll leave that. I think they should be able to get a good amount of this. Should probably add the rest of this in. And then we'll keep working on that. That's all getting there. 3 unemployed beavers. Gears. We can pause some gear workshops. I don't remember why we paused them before. One thing we'll need to do, maybe today, maybe not, is get automation set up for all this so that it can auto pause. How was the 5K? Yeah, so I ran a 5K yesterday, and all things considered, it went pretty well. So I finished 21 minutes, 11 seconds, which is not like my all-time fastest. In high school I ran cross country, much faster then, but since I've gotten back into running, it's been my fastest time. So I was pretty content with that. My buddy and I signed up for it, and I just barely beat him. So that was some fun competition between us. But yeah, it went well. And then hopefully I'll do some more 5Ks down the road. I reluctantly signed up for a half marathon in November, so that's going to be an endeavor. But stepping out of your comfort zone every once in a while is good for you. And that is definitely not in my comfort zone. And then with all of this, if we have just a single power shaft, connects everything in, we'll go. That's fine. We do need to add in some more paper mills. I think we'll just kind of mirror what we did on the other side. No, we're not going to flip. We flipped nothing so far, so we'll just keep it like that. And then maybe something that I should also think about is zip lines, because how are the beavers going to get around here? It's kind of what I was thinking. We might want to adjust this one. So we'll have all the housing on the front. They're not going to be able to reach any of this. Yeah, how are they going to get up to the top? Oh wait, I don't think I even want a lot of those. Let's see, because I wanted to have... Oh, maybe I do want them, because I think I just wanted stairs. We'll go spiral. Ooh, we can always have some storage right here. I think we'll go with a warehouse for this one. And then we can end up using those overhangs, so that's fine. That is just dandy. And then from here they can start constructing all these ones. And then maybe we go like this. Flip it. Start going backwards. And then they can construct all these ones. And then all that is lowest. Added one power shaft. Then we can unpause, or pause, all of these guys. Okay. And then we still got to add in some storages. Let's go, whoops. Oh, wow. So if we go down one, and we're pretty much, I mean, this is, I guess, the tallest thing that we've constructed so far. What is this question mark? Oh, it's the warehouse. This one. Oh man, a million things. Yeah, we gotta start placing stuff down. So as long as we have like one resource supply and obtain building for each resource and like in the area would be ideal. So we have a warehouse here. This can be supplying gears. So that's gears covered. We're gonna need a lot of logs. And so logs, scrap metal, metal blocks, and planks. This one we'll have is getting scrap metal. This one can be supplying metal blocks, obtaining logs, and supplying planks. And then, ooh, we need, see, having this extra space right here is going to be nice. I think ooh, oh nice, even better. We can remove this one, and then let's go down again. Oh, we can't go on top. Wait a second. Can we do this? And then storage. Yes. Thank goodness. Because I want to get this bad water. This is going to be set to obtain. Because that's going to be bad water for the explosives. I could make this a little bit cleaner. So instead, I'm going to 180, and instead I'm going to do small warehouse. This is going to be supplying explosives. And then over here we can get some bad water. So I think it just looks a little bit nicer that way. And then yeah, we can click play, because this stuff's not like, not critical if this is built immediately. This though, we want to have some bad water obtained for these guys, and then we'll get some more logs over here. So here we'll obtain some wood, and then we need some pine resin as well. We can do the same thing that we did with this one. Remove this guy. Small warehouse. And then we'll just do a double platform on top. Oh, this one can be supplying paper. This one can be obtaining pine resin. And then we're obtaining logs. We need to supply treated planks, and I think we'll just do that. We'll just supply treated planks. Because these guys can just take some of the planks from here. So we don't necessarily need to have supply for these guys. I say supply, I mean these guys will spit out planks, and they'll, you know, if there's not a pile for them to put them on when they're getting maxed out, these guys will probably just be hopping over and grabbing some. Oh wait, this isn't the wood workshop. This is the printing press. Just kidding. Okay, wait, we don't even need pine resin here. What am I thinking? So this one, books. So we'll change it to supplying books. We still have paper right here. We'll duplicate this, and this one will be for punch cards, I guess. We'll have this one supplying punch cards. This one can supply paper. Okay, did I get that right? Supplying books. Supplying punch cards. Supplying paper. Supplying treated planks. Now we want to supply planks from here and obtain wood, because these guys are covered. Okay, we got that sorted. I think we have the vast majority of this covered. Make a zip line enclosed loop around this. A couple connections to the outside world. Yeah, so for zip lines, because then we also need to put this in the context of, okay, we have our production line. We also are going to have housing directly adjacent to it. So I think we want to have at least 1 or 2 zip lines connecting in pretty close to these stairs, so they can zip line into the middle and then go down and disperse. In addition to having zip lines, I think, on the edge of like the production line, which will basically be like the border that we have. And I am not going to be conservative about putting down zip lines. I'm going to put them down everywhere. I'm going to try and do it so it doesn't look too ugly, but I want there to be a lot of zip lines. And so I think what I need to do first is get the border set up and then start placing the housing down, because I think some of the zip lines will be right on the edge. And they have built all of this because I need to remove this staircase. And again, a couple more of these overhangs. We're making good progress. I'm so focused on this right now. How are we doing on everything else? Unemployed, beaver, we have 11 bot vacancies. I'm assuming I've changed this. Yes, we only have 1. We're gonna need a lot more bots, so I'm gonna bump that up because we're doing good on bot parts. Treated planks, how many did we have before? I can't remember if we had over 1,000 or not. Let's look at wood workshops. That'll be at the very bottom. 2. So we'll add in more than 2 on the top here. And they're building these one at a time. That's okay though. And then as long as we add in this, then they should be able to start reaching some other things. We get over 1k treated planks. It's in holding steady. Okay, that's good. That is good news. Ooh, and an important point that I think I overlooked is how we're getting power going up to the top. So what we're gonna do, something just slightly different. So if we go like this, and then we remove this guy, which we can't, and then power shaft, then a 5x1. That is going to be our sneaky little way to get power up a level. I do want them to finish all this stuff. And then we can start thinking about what we want to have on the top. But I think I want to focus on that border first. And then I don't want to have too much of like a bottleneck. Let's see. We remove this one. I was thinking we could do something cool, like with I don't know if it's actually possible. I want to do like kind of a corner arch so they could get in, but I don't know how feasible that is. I think the way I'd have to do it, I'd have to remove both of these and then do something like this. I don't even know how that looks. You can kind of see that, don't love it. What if we did this instead? Still kind of see it. Yeah, because you can't get that corner otherwise. I think we'll go with this. It's a little interesting. Maybe. Ooh, maybe do something like that instead. I think, yeah, structurally that doesn't look, doesn't scream this is super stable, because there's nothing supporting the corner. So we're gonna change it up. Instead we're gonna go, we'll have this guy and then, oh, I think we run into the same problem. Let's see, can we do this instead? Maybe we're losing. This might just be something I have to kind of give up, but I'm going to still try first. Maybe doing some overhangs. I think it's a lost cause. I think instead I'm going to keep it simple. I think we'll just go on the edge. And then we can go like... We'll go like this. And then we can get some decorations under here. Yeah, I think that's fine. It's a little bit different. It's not the same as these ones, which is kind of intentional. And then this one's just going through here. So I want this wall to be extended this direction farther. So it kind of looks like it's a little bit more centralized. How far is it over here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, wait. 14. So we need one more. And then we gotta get rid of this. We got all those connection points buttoned up down the road. For now, we'll just try and make it so it is accessible. Okay, so we have that, and then we'll have this corner. We'll do the same there. Doop-a-doop. And then one back. That triple. I didn't lower the priority for any of this, so they're doing it immediately. And now we gotta start thinking about those zip lines. But before we do that, actually, we'll start getting that housing set up. And I liked what, was it you, Lucky? Talking about getting some storage underneath. So, ooh, that actually will fit perfectly. You don't necessarily need to have the path going under there, but we could have that. I don't think we want the path going on the front. Well, we wanted those houses going up to the top, right? Oh yeah, I guess what looks better? We have the housing right here. Or we could have the housing right here. Nope, that's one too low. Oh no, that is the right one. I think I'll have it up at the same level. It gives us a little bit more space that we can take advantage of. Yeah, we'll do that. So we need to go doubles right here. Oh, but we'll need to actually go singles, because otherwise I can't reach these. Let's just pretend I'm doing it like this for now. I could move those back one. That'd make it easy to get up to the second story. And then we have those storages. Ooh, and we could also squeeze in some single storages. Nope. Then we just gotta go with those single warehouses. And this is helpful for, I feel like some of the things that you don't need like a lot of. Like if we're doing books, it's nice to have like small warehouses for those, but then some of the foods that the beavers eat, having the bigger or the medium ones is a little bit, I feel like, more useful. Okay, so we got that, and then I'm going to pause it again. I think I want to do something on the side. Do I want to keep going with these? With that house. Do I want adjacent? Yes, I do. But we want to bump it up. This one, I'm not worried about storage underneath, because it's only 2. This one I gotta be a little careful. Because I don't want to just like, I don't want that side to look like that. And then we get some decorations. I think the hedges might be a good. Or maybe go up one more. And then we have the hedges. But I want to rotate or flip all those ones. So we got that. Do I want to do something similar? I mean, it completely blocks that off. Yeah, it just disappears. Hmm. Here we go, something slightly different. We have the overhangs, which I think are super helpful. So maybe 3x1, or no, 2x1 then 3x1, and then 2x1. 2, 2, 3. It's still going to be kind of cramped in there, I think. This might look a little bit better. Could put well-being items in empty space underneath single row of houses. Ooh, I like that. So we can just like squeeze some stuff under there. I think for this one we'll put the decorations on top. Also, do we want to have it looking like that? Instead, we could put something else here maybe. I just want it to feel like, I like the step housing look, but I don't want it to feel like too cramped. And these are all the little details. And it might seem tedious, which it is. But, I mean, this is how it turns out looking good. So, we get some decorations in there instead. I don't know if we'll keep it like that. Let's start like this. We can always change it if we want. I think I should probably keep the side looking the same. So we'll go decorations. Then we gotta get those levees placed down. And then I went 2, 2, 3 for those overhangs. Oh, we will have to change all those storages. 2, 2, 3. We might even do something like this. At the end we'll place another one. I'm just throwing stuff together. Okay, so that's like this side. And there's going to be a lot of fun stuff for them right in front. Zip lines. We'll have... What about the side here? Because if we can get this corner figured out, because then we can kind of determine where those zip lines go. And we could put a couple houses, not too many, but like... We have that entrance. Maybe we don't put houses, but I do want to kind of cover that side up without obscuring or obstructing that too much. It might have made sense to have it on the front instead. We could always move it. I think that actually would make sense. So if we go get rid of those, and then let's just put this stuff down first before I remove the other section. I think at the very least we want to remove this one. And then that will get moved. Here, then we got the 3x1. Then we got the levees. Levees and dams. So they'll come into the front. And then we can kind of... Yeah, I like that. And then, yeah, we'll have a double lodge down here. Housing. Oh gosh, am I gonna... Okay, as long as these are not connected to the district center. How is it not connected? Oh. Uh-oh. So we're connecting all these in. Oh no. They trapped themselves. What the heck, man? Oh my gosh, so many of them. Okay, get this constructed ASAP as possible. Okay. 14. Get rid of that one. Pause this one. Homeless beaver. Gonna have to live with it. Rooftop terraces. Yeah, we'll have some of those. We will definitely have some of those. I was thinking about maybe putting them in here, but then you can't make it like symmetrical. So maybe we could do 3. Just have to also be able to get across everywhere. Because I don't think I could place one up here. Because it's not on like a rooftop. I can. What the heck? Above ground must be placed atop another building. Oh, so not... Oh, I can just place it like that. That's pretty cool. I think I'll put this in after we get those zip lines figured out. But yeah, I was thinking we could do something like this. And then... maybe one more house. And then we can place some levees in the front. And then we can have some decorations on the side. We can go... oh yeah, how do you want the path to go? Things like that, because we're not going to have it along the front. We strand more beavers. What the heck? Okay, let's slow it down. Dude is chillin'. Uh-oh. Let's remove this one. I think they should be good. We'll build that one later. Connect that in. We can remove all of these. Oh, I don't know if I want to do that because then we can't have the I guess we could. We would just, well, have a little overhang maybe. Let's see that. We can do something like that instead. And then, yeah, that's where it kind of juts out. Maybe we don't have dams on here. Maybe this is where it kind of changes from dams all on the front and then Maybe on the corner we have like a bush. And then we have hedges. It looks a little bit nicer, I think. I think on the front we can have something like this. I'll probably put some more decorative stuff like spaced out. So like maybe we'll have like a beaver statue every 5 tiles, or have some weather vanes every 8 tiles, something like that. So I'll kind of break it up a little bit. But I think the bush is over here. Actually, that'll be a good idea. Let's make sure we collect all that. We are going slightly down in treated planks, which is kind of to be expected. Oh my goodness. These freaking beavers. Let's rescue them and then remove these stairs so they can't walk up here to construct more. Get those. I think at this point I just need to move everything to normal priority. And then if I build something that I want constructed, I'll have it set to highest. Oh my gosh, we got some stuff hiding. Let's just go down. There we go. Zip lines will make so I don't need the path later. I mean, I think I still want some of the paths connected in. It might not be used as often. You can reach that, right? Good. Okay, let's bump these up. Let's just finish them so it's looks uniform along the front. I think I can duplicate this now. Here we have 9 vacant beds. I'm just gonna start pausing these houses as they construct more. So let's keep working on that. We are doing fantastic on wood, which is excellent. We have trees everywhere. And we have 3 beavers who need a job. So we're going to switch that to a beaver job. That'll help get everything constructed. We're making more bots now. So we bumped both those up to 2. One of them was down to 1. But I think that'll be helpful moving forward. And then we have some buildings that are not connected in. Let's start getting some food brought up here. So we'll just have the basics. We'll go through. Where is it? So this is all the edible stuff. Berries. I don't think we need berries. Carrots, sunflowers, grilled potatoes. We're not even making any of those. And then bread. And then we'll have books. Is there not a whole lot of... We need to focus on food, I think. Food's not fantastic, so just books, I guess, for all those. Have them read at night. Okay, and then soon we can... Oh yeah, we have to do this. Okay, so unfortunately I did not plan ahead for getting up here to these 2. I almost planned ahead, but then I didn't. So how do we want to do this? There's several ways we could do it. What I'm gonna do, because I think that side to still look the same, is we're gonna get rid of this. So thankfully they haven't worked on this one yet. I don't know why they weren't working on it. And then ooh, I don't like that. Wait, can I do this instead? Okay, so I'll get rid of this one too. And then we have it connected in. I didn't want the spiral staircase going from this side and up, because then we'd have two paths right next to each other, and I don't really like that look. So, personal preference. And then we got these last two food thingies. I guess we'll just get some more bread. We can switch those down the road, but for now I just don't want to have that notification that it's, you know, we're missing stuff. Stranded. Oh jeez. Oh, I forgot to remove those stairs. That's on me, man. No, stop. Okay, and they can't reach most of this because it's on the second story or third story. But we can change that if we just get a few of these placed down. And then what did I decide? Moving this forward. Five by one, yeah. Okay, so we're capping it off. Just need a couple more doubles. That one is probably a single. Yeah, this is the mega build process. It is so tedious, but in the end, it's gonna look good. So, and we still have so many things to work on, but this is the fun part. Ooh, let's see. Lucky said, grow some maple trees somewhere just to start storing maple syrup. Assuming food buildings will be on second story of production area. Yeah, we probably should give ourselves some time for everything to grow. This guy actually has some space. Since we're doing just fantastic on trees, I'm removing these ones. Let's add in some dirt. We'll connect this in. And then we can spot. That's a beaver. Get some maple trees planted. I want to change these ones as well. And then we'll unmark all these ones if it lets me. Yeah, we'll start getting some maple trees planted, because yeah, that'll be helpful down the road. And then let's just bump all this up on the priority. And then we'll need a tapper shack over here. We can have him down below, I guess. Tapper shack. Yeah, he can reach everything, so that'd be good. And then we can plant some more maple trees up here. Hopefully the irrigation affects spread pretty well. How are we doing on water? That's looking kind of low. But this, do these just... How are we looking inside the reservoir? We have so much water. We're not running out. This has the target height of 0.6. We have so much water down there. This is all turning out pretty well. It's taken a while. This is episode 9, right? And I mean, these streams last like 2 to 3 hours, so that's probably at least 20 hours that we've put into this. But it's looking pretty good. Functioning well. At this point, we're not concerned about bad tides or droughts at all. We're getting this going. We gotta get some fun stuff for them. They probably can't reach all this. Let's also connect this in. 4 by 1. And just kind of tossing stuff on right now. I don't know why I put the 4 by 1 exactly, but we can get some stairs coming up here. That'll actually probably be pretty helpful. Ooh, this one. How does this work? Can we go? Dang it. I was hoping we'd go 2 by 1 over that. But instead it's going to be a little bit different. So this one is supporting that. Okay, we gotta change this up a little bit, but I think we can still make it work. Yes, because we'll go... Oh, we can't go like that. Wait, yes we can. It's just gonna look a little funky. So this will go here, 3 by 1 over top, 2 by 1, and then we'll go path, path. For now we'll tie in there. I don't know if we'll keep it that way. We can switch that to the opposite direction if needed. But that works. And then we'll go backwards from here. I think it was a 6 by 1, 5 by 1. Nice. It's going. And now we have the other housing. I don't want to just go in across the entire front. I think I want to break it up a little bit. We have this. We do 3. We'll shift that over by 1. So instead we'll have it right here. Yeah, and then I shifted everything so we could have that double space in front. And then I'll need to be a little bit more intentional about pausing some of the housing, because we are going up in beaver population, I think. For now, we'll have the path going right there. Oh, I need to place that stuff down. Okay. What are you guys thinking? Is this, hopefully it's entertaining. It's all the details, which sometimes I get focused and then I'm not talking. But as soon as we get these ones, and then figure out what I'm doing right around here, I think I can start getting some zip lines placed down. I know this is a little island I have. We could have some zip lines right here. We could do 2 zip lines, 3 if we wanted. We'll start with 2. So we could go corner and corner, corner and corner. I wish you could have a 3rd connection point. Corner, corner. I think we have to have 2 zip lines near each other at a lot of places. Because if you're looking from above, if you want to go around, that means you need to have 2 going, like each connection point, like each zipline station has to go, you know, let's say over here and then over here, but you can't go to the middle. You'll have to have a separate one that goes into the middle. So I'll probably have 2 on each corner. One of them will just be the ring going around, and then the other will have 1 going to the middle and then going outwards. So hopefully I can make it so these aren't too ugly. Jay Sean would be proud. Dude loves his reservoirs, that's for dang sure. Did I not put... Oh, I have that path still there. Okay, we gotta remove this one. And... that path, but we can go... and then... you just gotta place those last couple levees down. Nice. Okay, so that'll button that part up. There is one that I was missing. Probably a beaver bot was trapped or something like that. 8 jobs. We're just gonna switch like all these builders' huts to be beavers. We have 99 bots. I swear we had more bots at the beginning. Do we have enough biofuel? Yeah, we're doing good on biofuel. I don't think we've made extract yet. I think we're going to unpause the punch cards. So we'll get some punch cards. And we're going to switch these to bots. Oh, you don't have power? Did I not connect this whole power system in? Oh my gosh. Oh, jeez. Okay, remove this staircase. Let's get those going. Now, yeah, the lights light everything up. Excellent. Nice, those are going. And now these guys are working. Do we have... Oh wait, I'm not bringing paper because... Let's just obtain it for now, since these guys need it. That'll be close enough. Oh, they need planks also. Oh, jeez. We'll just obtain planks for now. Okay, so we have paper and planks, both being obtained for these guys. Down the road, we can switch them to be supply to other buildings because we'll have both of these guys running. And I think that should be good for them. My gosh, we have so many beavers who are unemployed. Gears are still going up. We have 29,000 science, we're doing good. Let's just set that to none. So we'll just let them do something. Okay, they can't reach any of that. That's, I guess, okay. Don't really need more housing constructed at the moment. Okay, we have 4 housing spots that are vacant. Pause. Let's go pause some buildings. I think I have some. Yeah. You are evicted. Landlord special. And then, yeah, what am I doing over here? We can get rid of that, and then we'll go up. What was I gonna do here? We have the path along here. And then maybe some decorations in front. We'd either have it go below or above. Probably has some useful stuff for them. Well-being, contemplation spots. We could add a few of those. Well-being, contemplation spot. We'll do like that. And then we'll have some decorations right here. Maybe we'll move this in one. We'll go like that. And then let's see. Decorations, we can go... I guess we can't... I like doing the platforms and then something, because then you can... Normally you could double up if you're using the iron teeth, but not these guys. We'll have a couple statues, I guess. No, we need some green space. Do some bushes. Yeah, and then I was gonna have, I think, platforms there. Could we do something like this? Hedge and then overhangs? Oh, it wouldn't be symmetrical. circle unless we do that, and then this. Also trying to switch it up so it's not like the same thing for everything. We'll see how that turns out. Okay, so we got the zip lines, and then those will connect out. I'm thinking about where I want to place the other zip lines. What elevation do I want to put them at? I have this little outer ring. So we could do maybe something like this. And then since we'll go there, we would go like that probably. 3 by 1. Oh, we gotta be careful also because if this is going around and one's going in to out, I think we gotta think about elevation a little bit more. Okay. I think we're gonna scrap this and just start over. What we'll do is I think we'll have one of them. I think this one. Okay, so we can go like this. So we'll move that one over maybe by 1. Then you can walk to get into it, and then walk up, and then we'll have another one. This one can connect to this. This one go to the front maybe. We have quite a bit of range because let's see, we can go. We're 19 out of 30 meters, so we can keep going wider. Trying to think of how useful it's all going to be. Need catalyst also. Bump up bot numbers, which I have, which you will have later. And then put a weather vane on top of some of the houses. Yeah, I'm going to definitely do some more decorations because right now this is like super bare bones. I have like some, you know, like just the hedges. But we're going to get like some contemplation spots, some roofs. Definitely, I think weather vanes will be a nice little touch. And then, yeah, there's more to come for sure. And then I'm doing like some decorating, but try not to get too caught up in the details, since I don't even have the whole design done yet. But then, you know, these zipline stations, because I want to bring the beavers after they're doing like fun stuff. Or I guess after they're working, they can come out. And then also if they need to get around. And then we got to connect all of this to down here as well. So having, I think this corner one will be a good connection point. We'll have maybe, you know, one here. I don't know if I want to have one over here because it's kind of like in the front. So I think something like this is still a good idea. We always go down if we don't want to like kind of be across. But yeah, how do I want to do this? Because we're going to have buildings over here that they will be, you know, working in. We'll have this one. I think I just need to accept the fact that we're not like, it doesn't need to be, yeah, that's okay. Because then we can have this guy. I also should probably finish at least placing all these so I know where everything ends. That's 5x1. And then we got these guys. And these are the 4x1s. Okay, so we're going all the way over there. We'll get the dams placed. And then I don't know what we're doing over here yet. I might build it out a little bit. For now, I think we'll just place down just some overhangs just to keep it simple. We'll go with 1 and then 2. And then these guys will be connected across. And these guys so they can get around pretty easily. For now, I'll have this one connect in. And then temporarily, these guys are connected in. Normally, I want this to go out to those corners. But we can press play. And then paper's starting to go down. We can start turning on some of these buildings also. Especially considering that both of those are running. And these guys require logs, but they don't have any. Now they're putting them in. Oh, wait, no, they didn't grab them. I don't know why. It's okay. Planks. Ooh, we're starting to go down in wood. 2,800. And we've been building a lot, so it makes sense. But we'll keep an eye on logs, because the last thing we want is to run out of wood. But one thing we do want to do is place down some more maple trees. Lucky, that was a good recommendation. And then I don't think we can do anything there. Of course. How do we strand another beaver? What the heck am I looking at? How do you get up there? Oh, he probably walked. Okay. See, it doesn't look as good if it's all flat, but it makes it easier and prevents bots from getting stranded. So we'll get that guy saved. That's in the wrong spot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then we'll get those triple lodges placed down. And if we just pause this one. Oh wait. That doesn't matter. I was thinking they were going to walk on the roof, but they can't. I think if we bump these up, that'll help the efficiency of getting around a little bit more. Oh, and we can also temporarily do this. Look at that, they immediately are using all that. Sweet. That's what you love to see. And then we can move this. Yeah, we're gonna have these stairs on the front. And then I'm not, oops, not what I meant to do. I'm gonna place this down so they can get up here, but I don't want to connect it in quite yet. And then we will need to remove that at some point. In fact, we can just place all of this. And then once again, we will not actually quite connect it in. I'm liking how this is turning out. Beavers are eating through paper now. Oh my gosh, down to 105. Those bots are using it up. Unpause both of those. The nice thing is that as we're going through all this, since there's so much space up here, I think that we'll have the opportunity to add in any extra buildings that we need. Also temporarily, I can unpause this paper mill. But that is going to be eating into our logs even more. So I'm just going to plan ahead and start getting some more oak trees placed here instead of the pine trees. Now that we don't have the fear of bad tides wiping the trees out. And then we can do the same for these guys. Get the oak. Paper also putting pressure on logs. Yeah. Yeah, there's, I mean, with everything that we're doing right here, we are just tearing into our resources. Paper super low, logs, and also with the bots being more, like getting the well-being boost, if you call it that for the bots, they start producing stuff more. And I think, don't we have some? Yeah, some of the bots are working in the lumber mill, so they're going to work faster. Same with the wood workshop, and then all this. We are maxed out on explosives. We can pause all of them for now. Don't really need them working there. Can we toss them? We've chopped pretty much all the trees down. We could extend our planting range. Let's go down, 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 down. Okay. We can move this guy. And then remove this. And we're gonna be a little sneaky. Oh, that's perfect. Perfecto. So we'll go here, and then we'll just start. So this is like what we're doing in a Timberborn 1.0 series. Cool. Just making sure I'm not going above ground anywhere. But now we can just make sure we keep an eye on it, because they can only, you know, build so far because of the paths. And then we'll get 3x3 at the end. And that should make this a good amount of this green. We can, ooh, instead we're gonna do this. We'll shift this over because I want to get some more green space over here. I think this will be... I mean, we can get like one extra tree over here. But here, that's a lot more space. And then we can also go down if we wanted. If we want to have that spread. Do something similar with this one. If we want to kind of ease the strain on this one. Check geothermal connections. Oh, did I not? Oh, those probably aren't even connected in. Oh, well, they made everything. We don't have max planks, so we're going to remove all of these. And then they'll collect them. And then do the same for this. And then we can start placing all that down. That's a good reminder, Lucky. And then, do we have some more of those somewhere? We go... Look at that. So we got a lot of extra planks. $70 right there. And then we'll get another 110. So yeah, if we can reduce... Okay. If we can reduce how many logs we need to use up, that'll be helpful. And yeah, there's a bunch of a lot going into making planks at the moment. This will be huge. I think we had like, it was like 2,000, 2,100, 2,200. Now we're up to 2.7 thousand. Just got to keep checking if there's any. Well, I know there's some right here. Okay, it's all not connected in by design. I don't know how I want to connect this in quite yet. Because we'll have this one. We're just going across. I think we'll go into the front. We might go like to pylon down in front and then up. I'm not sure yet. But our water situation's looking good. We are 6,600 out of 7,200. These guys are all based off of the relay, which is based off of... Oh, I'm at 90%? Let's go to 95. Let's get a little bit more. That turned all those on. One of them can be bots. Working on overdrive. Okay, we're just gonna... Whoops. I want that to be turned on. So we're turning it off of water dump chrono 1, so it's just always on. Because that had the opposite effect. All the water's down there now. But he'll keep dumping. We're going to switch it to a bot because we have some unemployed bots now. And we're still having flooding. It's day 7. That is raised up. Idle. Wait, on. Okay. Don't know exactly what's going on there, but he's dumping as much water as he can. They're just building too fast. And then we're almost at the end. We'll get some additional green space after we've lost some green space. But he's filling it up. And then we can remove these paths and get some more trees planted. Go with oak. And then make sure it's just all marked to be chopped down. That's one thing that I just, no matter how much I play this game, it seems like I forget to to mark trees to be chopped down. But I'm not forgetting, we can add in some more oak trees over here where we had the birch. Down to 2,000 trees or logs. Hopefully that doesn't drop too much more. But we are kind of slowing down on building. So need to go. That is actually coincidental because I think I'm going to wrap up today's stream. So, but yeah, we got a lot done. We'll wait till the morning. I'll slow it down a little bit, but I mean, this is flipping awesome. It was just a flat bunch of overhangs at the beginning, and now there's a whole production line underneath. It's all paused, or most of it is, but I mean, when this thing is up and running and we have a bunch of bots working in here, the output is going to be something else. We'll need to make sure that we have the raw materials in order to support all that. So some of that includes bad water, which I think that we have a good amount stored up. The little poo reservoir. And then scrap metal. We're doing much better now. I need to switch the direction of all this. Yeah, that one spot. Yeah, I don't know if I might have to get in there to figure it out, but yeah, bad water and scrap metal are both looking good. Water, we're still looking good. And we have this huge reservoir. Trees, I'm not concerned, but I'm noticing it. Ooh, we have a lot more green space, which is nice. And then, are they getting close? Okay, yeah, they've pretty much finished that. In fact, they have finished that. We can get rid of all of those. They'll collect that. Get us closer to maxing out on our planks. And then we'll plant some more trees. Let's just do it. I don't know if they can reach all this. This guy can't reach. This guy can reach. And then we'll get some. We'll just toss a few lumberjack flags. Because I think I'll forget this in the next episode otherwise. And then, while we have some more bots who need work, switch it. Okay. I know I said I was going to end the stream and then I just continue playing. But that is actually where we're going to wrap it up. We got a lot done. Next episode, I think we will continue to build this out. We have a lot of housing. Hopefully we'll get that front finished up, and then we'll get the second level of production. So some of that includes the bot part factories and the assemblers, the refinery, wood workshops, stuff like that. And then maybe any extra buildings that I'm not thinking of. Grist mills, we gotta get those placed down as well. But all that can wait for the next episode. Lucky and Sand Artist, glad you guys were chit-chatting. And then I saw at the very beginning there was Phoenix you were watching. I don't know if you're still here, but if you guys are ever interested, just leave a comment. Yeah, love interacting with you guys. Makes it worth it. This is so much fun. And with that, I'll see you guys in the next episode and live stream. Take care, everyone.